Hello. It's Thursday, and I have Detective Nick Troxel, right? Are you detective?
Yes, good
morning. Is that technically your...
That would be my technical title.
Actual technical title. Mm-hmm. From Tillamook Police Department and other things, because I know you do a lot of other things around the community.
True.
But we're here to talk about police department-y things.
Sure, what's happening at the police department?
I think your biggest thing is probably the parade on Saturday.
The parade.
Because you guys manage all of that traffic in town, and that's insane.
Correct. But we don't do it by ourselves.
Right.
And that is the nice thing, is that we do have the city of Tillamook Public Works, which it's all hands on deck with them. And every one of their employees will be here in town to make sure that the detour is set and
people understand where they're supposed to go and all that kind of stuff. I saw it coming down Stillwell this morning that all the signs are up already about no parking.
Yes, and people will see those signs throughout town. Pay attention to those, because I think some people might think that it's for right now, but it's not. It's for that day.
Right.
And I believe it's from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m.
Yes, I think that's what it says.
Otherwise, you can park there. And so... you just have to keep that in mind, that is for Saturday, not right now. The Public Works is also in conversations with other cities, Manzanita, Garibaldi, Bay City, to hopefully, I think Rockaway possibly, to see if maybe some of their Public Works folks can come down and help as well. Because if...
The more people, the better.
Well,
because there's a lot of traffic.
So let's say we have a water line or a sewer line break or problem.
Yeah.
We have to have our public works staff to be able to respond to that. Yeah. And we're going to have to backfill. And so we still need folks available to respond to any emergency we might have for water, sewer, or any other public works street need. So, yeah, the parade this year, as many know, is going to be going the opposite direction.
I have tried to be very vocal about it on the radio.
Yes.
Anytime we talk about the parade, I say, I'm going to take a moment. We're going to have a PSA. It goes backwards.
It is. It will be interesting to see how it goes. I think it'll go well. For staging, I think it'll go well, because the staging at those who normally meet at the fairgrounds should still be at the fairgrounds. Obviously, follow the instructions that are given to you in the mail.
They came out last week. Yeah, I got my thing in the mail last week. I think it was Wednesday or Thursday. That had a very detailed list of where each of my groups was supposed to go.
Yes, and so what will happen is around, I would say 10:20 or so, I will be at the fairgrounds picking up that first group.
Escorting that group of floats and all that.
Escorting that first group, which will go off to 12th to the high school.
Right, that back way around that back street.
Correct. And then we'll pick up that group at the high school. Then we'll make our way over to PUD, pick up that group, and then we will kick off the parade as we normally do over at 3rd and Del Monte. And we'll be doing that.
You mean ending the parade at 3rd and Del Monte?
Correct. But we'll be starting the parade over at
PUD.
PUD.
Yes.
As we would normally do over.
I see what you're saying.
So everything, all that's going to be over there.
So it goes north on Main.
And then we'll go.
So you're not looking left on Main. You're going to be looking right.
Yes.
Looking toward Lake Les Schwab.
So it will be different, but it'll be fun. And so we will travel north on Main. Then we will turn east onto 3rd Street.
Right at Home Life.
Correct.
Right? Yeah.
And then we will travel 3rd Street all the way until Del Monte.
Which is basically Goodspeed Park.
Yep. And that is where everything will disband. And everybody that was at PUD and who was at the high school will walk down Del Monte and filter their way through the neighborhoods back to their original area. And anybody else from the fairgrounds will continue out on 3rd Street and disband there. That 3rd and Del Monte, I want to stress that it's going to be really important that for those in the parade, that we keep that area open and moving. We can't get clogged up in there.
Right, you can't stop and be like, okay, the parade's over, now where are we going to go?
Yeah.
You figure that out before.
You definitely need to, because that will literally slow down the entire parade.
Sure. Yeah.
And so that was one thing that we have talked about, myself and Dale from Public Works, with the city, is that we're trying to ensure that that's a very critical intersection to make sure we keep people moving. But until I looked at it this morning, I really didn't realize how many staff we have. We have over 17 staff working the parade from the city of Tillamook just for traffic control and the detour. We have another 16 flaggers that are hired and will be in to help direct traffic and help with the detour. And so it takes a lot to ensure the safety of the traveling motorist who maybe they're just traveling from Lincoln City and they're going to Seaside.
And they don't realize there's a parade.
Correct.
Because you know that there's going to be those people. And it's supposed to be hot
It is.
on Saturday, which means we're going to get an influx of people from the valley regardless.
Correct.
Even if there wasn't a parade.
Yes.
So you have all those people coming for the parade and then the additional, it's going to be a little crazy.
Yeah. The unintended consequences of those folks traveling to the coast.
Why is there so much traffic?
And running into this. So safety is paramount for our parade goers and also for those traveling through. And so it's signed super well, but we can put signs and signs out, and people still get very confused when you put an orange cone out as well.
Right.
People get very confused. And so the level of frustration goes up on the driver's part, and then the flaggers can get frustrated and the officers frustrated that are out there directing traffic. So everybody just bear with and
be patient.
Be patient. We'll get through it.
Can we talk about what the detour actually is in case for those people that might be going to watch the parade so they know kind of what roads are open and which way they should be going if they want to go park somewhere?
Sure. So what will happen, let's say you're coming in on Highway 6 from Portland. That first street will be turned into a two-way street.
Which I think it did last year.
We've done it. Yeah, we've done it for a number of years. And so really that detour, because of the change in the parade route, really has not changed the detour at all because we're still using that same section.
It's still the same location of road.
Correct.
It's just backwards.
Yep. So First Street is going to be two-way, so any of the east and westbound traffic on First is going to go that east-west. Then you're going to come up to Main Street, and obviously you're not going to be able to turn to go south on Main. You're going to have to continue west and go south on Stillwell. Stillwell will obviously be still two-way, but we have that as no parking on either side during those times, just for the fact that we're going to have a lot of traffic on that roadway.
Well, so I drove here on Stillwell this morning and saw the signs, and I thought, yeah, I know it is two-way traffic, but it's not a real wide road, and you get like some truckers going through there.
Or a motorhome.
Or a motorhome or something.
Trailers.
I mean, that's going to take up what it is now. I mean, I know when the transit bus goes through and parks, you can't get around them when they're stopped in the middle letting someone out for the library.
Correct.
If they're in the middle of the road. So that makes sense.
Yeah, and so I know there's been questions about why do you guys put no parking on Stillwell? That is the reason why it's for safety.
Need as much room as possible.
And we have a lot of foot traffic as well. And so when there's more vehicle traffic and foot traffic on a roadway, you're going to want to hopefully remove any obstructions visually so that when people are coming to the intersection, they can clearly see any pedestrians. So Stillwell, north-south on Stillwell.
So Stillwell kind of replaces Main and Pacific. Basically, we're combining those two arteries into one on Stillwell that goes around.
Correct. You're taking those 4 lanes, putting them into a 2-lane. That's what really causes that north-south backup. And then we're pretty much doing the same thing on First as well for that westbound. Instead
of 3rd Street.
Eastbound. Right. Yep, 3rd and First. The northbound traffic for North Main, you will come up, if you're coming up Stillwell, you would turn on to First Street and come down and make your way north. And then the same for if you're going north and you're coming into town, you would follow it the same way and go north from First Street. So if you're So let's say that we're driving past Rosenberg, so we're going south, and we need to go out to Neatharts. Then you would turn at Front Street and follow your way out that way and totally avoid anything else. And so sometimes people don't realize, maybe folks that are not familiar with the area, they will come into town and they will continue and want to turn on First Street, and then they get on Stillwell to Third to try to go to Neatharts.
Yeah.
It's easier just to take front and take the truck route.
Right. Go all the way down to the end and loop around by the hospital.
Yeah. So that's basically what the detour is going to look like. It's really not changed from years past. What really has changed is obviously the route.
Yeah.
Yep. Some important things that we want everyone to remember is your personal safety along with your health while you're actually on the parade route. Remember your sunscreen. Remember to reapply the sunscreen. And remember your water. Remember some snacks so that you're prepared on the parade route, because it might take you a little bit to walk from your car or your house, wherever you're at. And so it's important to remember those things, because if, let's say, you become dehydrated or maybe the person that's sitting a couple seats down from you in their chair, they pass out because they're dehydrated and they're suffering from heat stroke or something.
Right. Which is very possible on Saturday because it's now 91 degrees.
Due to the weather projected, that's right. And so it's going to be very important for folks to stay hydrated and to plan for this heat, because we're not used to that here. And for an ambulance to get to you is going to be a little bit harder than it would be normally. The hospital generally has 2 ambulances. They'll have one staged on the east side of the parade route, then they'll have another one on the west side. Yep. And so the response time is generally quicker, but we also will have a police officer who will hopefully be able to make their way in and then help guide the ambulance into the quickest, easiest route to get in there, so we don't disrupt the parade.
Right.
But if you find that the parade has stopped for some unknown reason, that could be why. And if you hear sirens, then maybe we have something going on the parade route.
With the heat, I mean, we don't get 91 degree heat out here. And by the way, I think Friday it said, I was just looking at my phone, say like 80 on Friday, and then I think Sunday is 75. I mean, that's a pretty good chunk of time that we're going to get hot. I mean, we always joke we don't need air conditioners except for the 5 days. Well, this weekend will be one of those days.
You will need it.
Yeah. But with temperatures so high, it's possible there will be multiple people. You know what I mean? Like, it's maybe not just one. There might be someone on one end and someone on the other end. And so, people need to be aware of that.
What we've run into as well throughout the years is that it may not be a heat-related incident, but it could be another medical emergency, such as a fall.
Sure.
Or someone didn't bring a snack and they're diabetic and they have some type of problem that way. So being prepared is going to be important when you're coming out to the parade, and to have fun and enjoy this time. It's going to be a lot of activity downtown, a lot of stuff planned, and it's going to be a good time. It seems like throughout, 60 years now, it's just continued to grow and be a wonderful event. And in addition, we obviously have the rodeo going on as well that evening, so that'll on the law enforcement side, that's going to keep us busy as well. The sheriff's office, great partner, has stepped up, and they're going to provide a couple deputies to help just with the rodeo, because we're anticipating with the nice weather and everybody here all ready for the parade, that we could have great attendance at the rodeo as well.
I think the best thing you can do for the parade or even this weekend is just plan. Make sure you know how you're getting down to the parade. Make sure you know what you need to take. Make sure you're prepared. Sunscreen, water, cooler, whatever you need. Make sure you know how you're getting out. Make sure you know how to get a hold of someone if you have an emergency. So
don't be in a rush.
No, and be patient. Yes. Well, it's that time of the year. I kind of feel like the parade weekend kind of kicks off let's be patient for all
That's true.
All of our visitors.
Yes. Enjoy our visitors.
Yeah, that's kind of what happens. We're going to take a quick break and talk about TBCC. If one of your goals this year includes going back to school to finish or start your degree, then Tillamook Bay Community College is here to help you. Whether you need to earn your GED, get started on a bachelor's degree, master a few new skills, or need to learn English as a second language, TBCC can help get you started. All it takes is logging on to tillamookbaycc.edu to learn about the many degree options, certifications, and trainings they have to offer. Summer term begins next week, so there's no better time to get started and no better way to help yourself this year than with an education from TBCC. Register now at tillamookbaycc.edu or stop by the main campus on 3rd Street to have all your questions answered. And I believe summer registration closes on this coming Sunday, so if you are looking to get in over there, go see them today or tomorrow because they won't be open this weekend. So we're talking with Nick Troxel, detective from the Tillamook Police Department. We were just kind of giving a good debriefing about the parade. Do you want to talk about some of the stuff going on with the police department outside of the parade?
Sure. Yeah, absolutely. So currently the police department is staffed with our budgeted amount of officers, which is 10, including the chief of police. And that's exciting for us because we haven't... It's been a while. It's probably been since maybe 2005.
Wow.
Well, no, 6, I believe, since we've been at that full 10 mark. And so that's exciting for us to be at that point. Yet, we're also celebrating Maria, our office manager. She's going to be retiring after her 27 years of dedicated service to the city. She's going to be hanging it up and spending more time traveling and enjoying her time as a grandma and enjoying time with Jerry, her wonderful husband. So we at the police department, I'm sure everybody else who's ever had contact with Maria, we're going to miss her in her role. I know she won't be a stranger. She'll be coming by and checking in on us to make sure that we got everything in line, as she's done for the number of years. Maria has been our go-to if we have a question about something within the department. She is on it, and so
she keeps you guys in line.
She keeps us in line. She's
the mother hen.
She is our mother hen. That's right. Yeah. So I'll miss her sticky notes, which she's known for. We have never run out of sticky notes, knock on wood. And so she will write you a voice message or some type of message on a sticky note and then put over in an arrow, and she'll continue to write on the back of the sticky note for us.
She's getting like one of those big long pads.
Yeah,
the
no,
sticky notes.
Even
those, she feels.
And her writing is beautiful. So those are some of the things I will definitely miss about having Maria around the office, other than the fact I can just ask her about anything and she can help me with it. So with that said, we are accepting applications, and it does close today, I believe, at 4 o'clock for that position. We're looking for a new office manager. The city has adjusted the hours of that position, and it's now going to be a part-time position.
I think I saw it was 20 hours a week.
I believe so. Yep. And so I would encourage anyone who meets the qualifications to fill out an application, turn it in this afternoon at City Hall. You can go to the city's website and get all the information, the job announcement, the job description, and everything that's required for the application in the packet to be turned in. So we are excited about bringing a new person in. It's just that learning curve.
Yep. Totally.
So
and if her last day is the 30th, she won't be able to train anybody.
Correct.
So someone will be.
So we will, as a team at the department, we will be able to help guide this new person as well. So it'll be a fun opportunity for us to get to know the person and possibly make some adjustments to that position. As long as it's going to be a part-time, it probably is going to look a little bit different than what Maria's been doing. Really, she's doing probably a full-time plus a half-time person's type job. So we are definitely excited for that, but make sure you check it out. If you have any interest in that position, make sure you check it out on the city's website.
Do you know what the website is?
It should Tillamook OR, which is one word, .gov.
Okay.
Yep.
Go check it out.
TillamookOR.gov. Go check it out. Definitely want to give kudos to all of our dedicated officers that we have within the department right now. I've been with the department since 2003, and I'm not just saying this to say it. It's true in the fact that right now I can say that this is the best crew we've had within the department in years. When I came on, all those other old guys have since retired, and And I know that was a real great crew then, but now we really are dialed in, and we've got a real good dedicated group of officers, and we have, so I'm assigned as a detective, and we have officers that are assigned to different special assignments. And so mine currently is detective. And in that role as detective, I assist the major crimes team, and I'm an active member with the major crime team for Tillamook County, along with child abuse and other specialty type responses and follow-ups that need to be done for that detective. We also have officers who are assigned to evidence and property, and they help ensure that all our evidence is kept by policy and standards and all that.
Organized and locked up. And
correct. Yeah. Yep. And then we have an officer that's assigned to animal control and ordinance. And so that is a unique position right now, because we do contract with the county to provide animal control as well. And so that person, which is Julie Steinbach, that officer, she is assigned to animal control and ordinance enforcement. The ordinance stuff is just within the city, but the animal control is actually throughout the county. So that's a unique thing that we have going on right now. And so we're super busy. And
which it's summertime, so you get even busier.
We do get busier. And things change throughout the year. I was at the extension office yesterday talking to them about a training that we have coming up and that we're going to use that new building for, which is
fun.
Beautiful new location and a great resource for our community. Anyhow, a question was asked is, how are you guys doing? I mean, what's been going on? Do you see, do you slow down any time of the year? And really, we don't slow down. In fact, our arrests, if you look year to date, our arrests are up. Our contacts are up. The activity level just in general is up. And so, a lot of people are like, well, school's out. You don't have that going on. I mean, what else?
No, but we have the construction zone and an influx of visitors.
Sure.
Summer.
And so that's the thing, is that you have these different things that come out throughout the years or throughout the year. In the wintertime, we're super busy preparing for Shop with a Cop. And making sure all those families are served.
And I feel like even... in the fall, October, November, I was still seeing a large amount of out-of-state plates or Canadian plates. I remember thinking, at the end of October, where are all these California plates coming from? So I feel like our visitor influx didn't really diminish. It maybe a little bit, but there were still a lot of people coming in from out of state.
And we've seen that as well. So, your shoulder seasons, as they refer to it, I don't think it's as drastic as it has been in years past.
Yeah.
And I don't know if that is... I don't know what it is. I don't know if we're...
Well, I know they're marketing.
That's the thing, is I don't
Nan
know
Devlin.
if Nan, I think, is doing a real good job at spreading the word about the great things that go on within Tillamook County. So I think that does help. Yet those are obviously unintended consequences that we run into, we being those in emergency services, because we are here and prepared to serve those who live, but we also have to be prepared for those who travel through.
Sure.
And those people traveling through, we'll use the Creamery for an example, those visitor numbers are similar to the Space Needle.
Wow.
And so if you think about everybody that goes and visits the Space Needle, those numbers are similar to who comes and visits the cheese factory.
That is interesting.
It is interesting. And so that just kind of puts into perspective the traveling public that we have come through, because they just don't go to the cheese factory and stop.
Right.
They do drive through the city, and unfortunately, they might get into a fender bender, or they might be involved in some other mischief that we have to respond to. So those are, those are the things that we have to deal with. So.
Taking a detour, I guess. Something different, because I think it's important that you talk about this. We only have a few minutes left. There's a new law about car seats. Can you talk about that a little bit?
And car seats, I have a real a deep passion for the car seat stuff.
Let's talk about how in the 70s there were no car seats, or like 60s, and there were no seatbelts. Kids just slid around the back seat.
And with in the age of Google, you can actually Google what the car seat looked like, which a lot of times they were.
It was like a seat,
metal,
right? Yeah.
Metal piping that basically was curved to sit on the seat, and then you're like in this little basket thing. So yes, they've changed a lot. Manufacturers have done a lot in regards to car seat safety and design for children, because that cargo is so doggone precious, and if it's not installed correctly, for example, then it's not going to perform as it was designed to perform.
Well, and now car seats expire too, right? Because the plastic can degrade and all of that kind of thing.
Generally speaking, the rule of thumb, unless it's actually, some manufacturers actually put expirations on their seats. If it does not have an expiration, a good rule of thumb is every 6 years. You need to let it go. Or if the seat was involved in a crash, or you don't know the history of the seat.
Right.
You see a real good deal on a seat that is...
Like on Mooksville or something.
Yeah. Or, the person's like, hey, I have it in the original box. But you don't know the history on it. And they don't know because, their cousin gave it to them because they don't need it anymore. Be very careful with those things. But anyhow, there is a new car seat, or not new car seat law, but the car seat statute was changed a little bit. House Bill 3404 went into effect May 26th of this year. And in essence, that law, or the alterations to the law, now allows or is requiring children under age 2 and under, must ride rear-facing in car seats unless they turn age 1 within the year preceding the law. And so if your child is already at that mark,
at the
prior
1 year
to
old mark,
correct. What's interesting though is when I read that, I thought, okay, real world, I'm out stopping a car for, let's say they have a headlight out, and I go up and I see the child is forward facing and they appear to be under 2.
Yeah.
How am I going to know when their birthday? I mean, they don't have ID.
Yeah.
So it's going to be the honesty system at this point in time until we get to that point.
Yeah.
And people are probably wondering, like, oh my gosh, how can my child be rear facing until they're 2? Because their legs are going to be all crunched up. And studies have shown that the legs, if they are broken in a crash, generally will recover and be better than a broken neck, for example, or a back, which you see more of those injuries as the child is facing forward.
Because
in most
whiplash type of things.
Most of the crashes, the energy, the way the energy is delivered, it's best for them to be rear facing in a 5-point harness.
Well, and I'm just thinking about kids, like you're saying, with the legs. Usually they have their legs up on the seat or pulled in, tucked in next to them. But I don't know. Yeah, you're right. It's broken legs versus a broken neck and possibly death.
Yes. And so I definitely see the intent behind the change. I just have heard from parents and caregivers of like, gosh, I can't believe having my kid rear facing until they're 2.
They're pretty old and talking and
and
walking,
and they want to be forward facing, like brother or sister or cousin, that they're seeing like, why can't I be that? And a good reminder too, folks, in regards to car seats, is that your child does need to be in the booster and at least until they are 4'9", age 8, and over 40 pounds. And so some people, I can think like some littler high schoolers that maybe still should be in boosters, but because they don't meet that height requirement. But something very important to remember. Now, in Oregon, I get this question a lot as well. In Oregon, there's no law on children riding in the front seat, although it is recommended through the National Highway Transportation Safety Board that anyone who is 12 and under not ride in the front, and that's due to airbag.
Oh, sure.
Airbag deployment on a younger person is not good, and they don't respond as well as an adult. And airbag deployment with an adult is even very traumatic at times. And so that's good things to remember. I I see very young children riding in the front. There is no law at this point in time, but it's something to remember that generally age 12 and up, they could be in the front seat.
Well, and a lot of these things like the booster seat and the front seat, not only is it airbags, the front seat, but also the seatbelt. Because I think the booster thing is because of the seatbelt, right? It
Correct.
cuts them kind of on the upper part of the neck versus across the chest like it should
Correct.
be.
So
And then it doesn't. If you get in an accident, the seatbelt's not helping.
Correct. No, and it should be the lap should be across your hip bones, and then that shoulder belt should be across that collarbone there, and not up into the neck.
Right. That's a good way to get your head cut off.
Yeah, not good.
Yeah, not at all.
Right.
We are out of time.
Okay.
Anything
Thanks
else
for
you
the
want to
invite.
mention?
No, we're doing good. I appreciate it, and everybody, come on out to the parade, and
be prepared.
It's time to rodeo.
It is. Happy birthday today to Gordon McCraw. I know. Happy birthday to him.
Yes.
Also, Belinda Williams, Tony Bright, and Sarah Reeves. Tomorrow we'll have the Port of Garibaldi on. Don't forget senior meals, noon every weekday at the Kiowanda Community Center in Pacific City, as well as the Tillamook Senior Center at 4th and Stillwell. Cost us $3 for seniors and $6.75 for everyone else. Friday and Saturday, it's the 2017 rodeo at the fairgrounds. Starts at 6 p.m. both days. Gates open at 3. Saturday is Kids Day. Kids under 12 get in free with a paying adult. I should mention that's different than it normally is. It's Friday, Saturday this year, not Saturday, Sunday. As we mentioned, Saturday is June Dairy Day, I guess if we want to say. The YMCA Milk Run starts at 8. The June Dairy Parade starts at 11 at the PUD. And the festival downtown starts after the parade on the 2nd Street Plaza. Also on Saturday, the NCRD is having their 20th anniversary celebration up in Nehalem from 11 to 2. That's at the NCRD. Saturday from 6 to 10 p.m., celebrate the grand reopening of the Faye Jensen Hall expansion at the Kiowanda Community Center with a Caribbean chicken dinner. It is $15 and a no-host cash bar 21 and over event. And then it's the fun time where there's farmers markets. Friday, Manzanita Market is open 6 to 8. Saturday, the Tillamook Farmers Market is open 9 to 2. Sunday, the Pacific City Farmers Market runs 10 to 2 at the corner of Camp Street and Bruton Road. And I realized yesterday I need to put Nesco in on here. I don't know when it is, but Nesco in Saturday. Maria's mouthing Saturday at me. I will figure that out and put it on for tomorrow. Hey, Nick, thanks for coming in again this morning.
Thank you.
And thank you, Tillamook, for listening.